Hello everyone and welcome back to Coach Craig's Sports. Today is Thursday, February 10th, and this is the NBA DFS video for today. So in today's video, I'm going to be taking a quick look back at yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out. These picks were posted on Twitter yesterday. I did not make a formal video, but I did have a thread going where I listed all my core picks, the injury updates, the starting lineups, you name it, all in that thread yesterday. So hopefully you guys were able to check that out. Unfortunately, I was not able to make a regular video yesterday. And then I'll be going over the injuries in play for tonight's slate, as well as my picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for tonight's slate as well. But with that being said, we'll get into yesterday's picks. We'll start off on the DraftKings side where we had De'Aaron Fox at point guard, $7,700, looking for 39 points out. He got to 46.5, so he was a hit. At shooting guard, we had Kelly Oubre, $5,600, looking for 28 points out. He got 27.5, so I gave him a push since it was just right up next to where we wanted him to be. At small forward, we had Lou Dort, $6,200, looking for 31 points out. Ended up with 26. He was a miss. Only 4 for 14 shooting from the field and 6 turnovers. Kind of hurt him yesterday. Then at power forward, went with Justice Winslow, $4,500, looking for 23 points out. He got to 33.5, so he was a good hit yesterday. And then last but not least, we had Udoka Azubuike, $4,000 at that center position. Was looking for 20 points out. He got to 18.25, so he's a miss, but probably not one that killed you overall yesterday. He only ended up playing 19 minutes. Before that, he had been playing closer to 24 minutes a game. Then on the FanDuel side, we had Anthony Simons, $6,800, looking for 34 points out. He got to 33.5, so I gave him a push since he was right up next to where he needed to be. Mainly scored the ball, had 5 assists, and just didn't do anything else yesterday, though. Then they had shooting guard, we had Zach LaVine, $8,000, looking for 40 points out. He got to 40.9, so he was a hit. Small forward, we had Justice Winslow once again, $4,300, looking for 22 points out. He got to 37.1, so he's a very good hit on the FanDuel side. Then at power forward, we had Kevin Love, $7,400, looking for 37 points out. Pretty much been doing it all the time as of late, but he ended up with 18.5 yesterday, so he was a mess. Only 3 for 13 shooting from the field, just not a good day for him overall. Then last but not least, at the center position, I wasn't really blown away by a lot of guys yesterday. Apparently, Hassan Whiteside was the guy to own, but he had like 9 steals and blocks combined, so that was kind of crazy. But I went with Mason Plumlee, $5,400. You figured without some of the guys that were missing for the Hornets, he was going to play close to 30 minutes. He only ended up playing 27, so he was a mess at 25.2 points when we were looking for 27 points out of him. Unfortunately, Nick Richards got into the rotation and played 13 minutes, so kind of limited Mason Plumlee just a little bit yesterday. Plus, that game was a little bit of a blowout at one point in time. But with that being said, we'll get moved over into the injuries and play for tonight's slate. Once again, it is a 7 o'clock start time. There is a 7-game slate overall. There's the one lone game starting at 7 o'clock. So for the Memphis Grizzlies, Aldama, Brooks, Pons, Tilly, and Tillman are all out tonight. So pretty much what we saw the last time out, except Tillman's out as well now. So maybe Brandon Clark looks a little bit better, but his price is a little bit too high. For the Detroit Pistons, they are without Isaiah Livers and Pickett. Josh Jackson and Cade Cunningham both questionable. Both have missed the past couple games. And Killian Hayes listed as probable. He's dealing with a little bit of an injury himself. Then we move over to the 7:30 game. So we got the Miami Heat, who are without Markieff Morris and Victor Oladipo. Caleb Martin and Tyler Hero both listed as game time decisions, but expected to play at this point in time. For the New Orleans Pelicans, Willie Hernangomez, Larry Nance, and Zion Williamson are all out. CJ McCollum is expected to make his debut for the Pelicans tonight. So let's see how this lineup, how this rotation looks with him in the mix tonight. Then for the Brooklyn Nets, they're without LaMarcus Aldridge, Kevin Durant, James Harden, Joe Harris, and Paul Millsap. Nick Claxton listed as questionable to play. I do assume that he's going to miss once again with that hamstring injury, though. Then for the Washington Wizards, Daniel Gafford's out once again, and Bradley Beal had season-ending surgery, so we're not going to see him anytime soon. For the Toronto Raptors, they're just without Goran Dragic once again. Houston Rockets are without Usman Garuba and John Wall. Eric Gordon listed as questionable to play. I do assume that he does end up missing once again today. There's also a chance that he could be traded at some point today as well. Then we move down to the Clippers, who are without Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and Jay Preston. Jay Scrubb just actually ended up having surgery. I believe he's out for the rest of the season as well. Then for the Dallas Mavericks, Tim Hardaway and Kristaps Porzingis both out. Sterling Brown listed as a game time decision. We'll see if he's back tonight or not. For the New York Knicks, they're without Derrick Rose. RJ Barrett is doubtful. And then Mitchell Robinson, Nerlens Noel, and Quentin Grimes all listed as questionable. All 3 missed the last time out. We'll see if they're back tonight or not. Then for the Golden State Warriors, they're without Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala, James Wiseman, and Nemanja Bjelica. Litsa is doubtful to play tonight. We'll see if Otto Porter Jr. ends up resting since it is the back-to-back. Klay Thompson does return tonight. He sat out the front end of the back-to-back, so we'll see how the starting lineup looks overall for this Golden State Warriors team. Then for the Milwaukee Bucks, George Hill, Brook Lopez are both out once again. Grayson Allen listed as a game time decision, expected to play, but just keep an eye out on that since we've seen him at multiple times this year be expected to play and still end up missing as well. For the Phoenix Suns, they're without Frank Kaminsky, Abdul Nader, Cam Payne, Dario Saric, and Landry Shamet. So the same 5 guys out that we've seen out in recent games, so no changes there at all. But with that being said, there's a quick little rundown on all the injuries in play for tonight's slate. As always, I'll be listing all the injury updates, COVID news, and starting lineups down in the comments below as well. Also, be sure to keep an eye on things today too, since it is the NBA trade deadline. There could be some of these guys getting traded, opening up some other value elsewhere, or potentially making guys unavailable to play for us tonight as well. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to DraftKings and talk about my picks over there. So we're going to start off at the point guard position with Kevin Porter Jr. $6,000, looking for 30 points out of him, averaging that on the season. Currently, I'm projected for 31 points tonight. Been playing better and more consistent as of late. Definitely something we like to see, and definitely someone you would like to have in your lineup once again tonight. Then at shooting guard, going with Reggie Bullock, $5,200, looking for 26 points out of him. Got projected for 26, 27 points tonight. Obviously, he's been playing big minutes. He's been playing rather well since Tim Hardaway has been injured. So Reggie Bullock chasing maybe a little bit tonight, but I do like the upside that he presents, as well as a kind of a safe floor as well. And then at shooting guard, we got Denny Advia, $3,600. Not the most exciting play in the world. You're looking for 18 points out. I'm got projected for 19, 20 points tonight. Just a kind of a solid fill-in, pay-down option if you need one tonight. $3,600, you can definitely do a lot worse than Denny Advia. Then at power forward, we're going with Sengun. He's started the past couple games, $4,800, looking for 24 points out. Currently, I'm projected for 25 points tonight. If he's in that starting lineup once again, could have a solid little day at a reasonable price tag as well. And then at the center position, it was not the best position today overall. Got Isaiah Stewart at $5,400, looking for 27 points out. Currently having projected for 28 points tonight, as long as he's able to stay out of foul trouble. Heck, maybe even Kelly Olynyk behind him gets traded today, and that could open up a couple extra minutes for Isaiah Stewart as well. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players on the DraftKings side, you'll have $25,000 remaining, just over $8,300 per player. So if you want to pay up for one stud and then fill in from there, you can definitely do so. Or if you want to take a little bit more balanced approach, that's definitely something that could work as well. Once again, there could be some other value opening up throughout the day, especially since today is the NBA trade deadline. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to FanDuel and talk about my picks over there. So we're going to start off at the point guard position with Jalen Brunson once again. He's been a very popular name for me recently, and mainly it's just because his FanDuel price tag is just not really going up. So you're looking for 29, 30 points out of him at $5,900. Averaging 30 points on the season. Currently, I'm projected for 30, 31 points tonight. Then at shooting guard, this was kind of a yucky position today, but I went with Evan Fournier, $5,900. Looking for 29, 30 points out of him, averaging about 23 on the season. It's unlikely that RJ Barrett plays today. Evan Fournier has been starting to get more minutes and starting to play better, so definitely have some interest in him. Have him projected for 29, 30 points tonight. Then at small forward, we're going with Jimmy Butler. He's right there at the $9,200 price tag once again, looking for 46 points out. I'm averaging just over 43 on the season. Currently, I'm projected for 45, 46 points tonight. Definitely has a little bit of upside for more as well. Then at power forward, we're going back to Denny Advia, $3,800, so cheap price tag on the FanDuel side as well. Looking for about 19 points out. I'm averaging just over 18.5 on the season. Think there's going to be a decent amount of opportunities for him once again tonight. Guy that's going to probably get you 19, 20 points and you're not going to be too mad about. Then at last but not least at that center position, I went with Montrezl Harrell. I'm not like super sold on any of the centers today. He's at $4,800, so a reasonable price tag, looking for 24 points out. Currently I'm projected for about 25 points. Has a little bit of upside for more, but also has a little bit of downside for less as well. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players on the FanDuel side tonight, you have $30,400 remaining, just over $7,600 per player. So definitely the ability to pay up for a stud, maybe even one other higher price player as well, and then kind of build some values around there. Or if you want to take a little bit more balanced approach, right around that $7,600 range, you definitely have the ability to do that as well. But with that being said, these are my picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for today, February 10th. As always, if you have any questions related to NBA DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on tonight's slate, whether it's on FanDuel or DraftKings. Heck, if you want to talk a little bit of Super Draft, definitely down to talk some Super Draft as well. JC Money Design and I will be doing the Super Draft live stream today at 5 o'clock Central Time over on his channel. When the link is available to that, I'll also leave that down in the comments as well. So definitely be sure to check that out if you're into Super Draft, if you want to learn about Super Draft, or if you just want to look at some NBA DFS in terms of the main slate for Super Draft, and also get a little bit of injuries and starting lineup news as it does become available if you're playing on other sites as well. And then, as always, I'll be listing all the injury updates, COVID news, trade news, and starting the lineups for tonight's games as it does become available. So definitely be sure you're checking up on that throughout the day, especially as we get closer to lock. And then I'll be listing my updated core about a half hour to an hour prior to lock. But with that being said, if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. It helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS, whether it's NBA or NFL, helping you with your fantasy football teams. Probably going to be making a video tomorrow at some point about all the NBA trades that did take place, kind of my thoughts on them in general. There's been some interesting ones so far. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some interesting ones once again today as well. So if that's something you're into, definitely be sure to check that out as well. And then with that being said, if you are a newer current subscriber who's yet to do so, also hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, I post up daily NBA DFS videos just like this. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special little shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.